Good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome to the July 2025 syllabus walkthrough for the ICAG exam. My name is Prof, and I will be your host throughout this meeting. I am going to go through all the necessaries you need to pass your course, what preparations, what materials you need, and some kind of pitfalls that ICA students have been, what do we call it? Have been facing, or they have been at their weaknesses that is actually leading to the high failure rates nowadays. Okay. So the thing is that ICA now, it has become, I think it has become a little soft than it was at time. Time there, Charlie. The materials were not available like this, but now there's so much materials, AI, website, YouTube, free videos and stuff, but people are not taking advantage of these resources. And this is actually becoming hectic. Okay, the students also do not get enough time to practice. You can see somebody attending more than 4 classes at a time. So when will this person get time for himself? Wankasa, when would you get time to practice yourself, right? These are some of the problems that people are facing, right? It's not that they are not intelligent. Everybody is intelligent, but you need the right approach to study. If you get the right approach to study, I guarantee you will be fine. You will be more than fine. It's just that one, the preparation is not adequate because we want to do everything everywhere all at once, and that is what is leading to the high failure rate in the ICA exam. So today, we are going to walk through some examiner's commentary. We are going to look at exactly what the examiner wants. What are some of the key strategies that you should implement to see success? Okay, and then the roadmap to achieving success in all your papers. So today, going to focus mostly on two courses. Today's focus is mostly going to be on corporate reporting and then strategic case study. Tomorrow we continue this series again, and tomorrow's section is going to be on advanced taxation practices, advanced taxation, sorry, and then advanced audit and assurance. Okay, that is what we are going to look at tomorrow. But today it's on the two most filled papers in ICAG. That is strategic case study and advanced taxation. Okay. So if you have any questions for me, you can ask any contribution, anything you want to say, any questions that have been lingering on your mind, you can just ask me before we proceed. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Yes, boss.
So please, my concern has to do with being able to play the video we showed. I am not able to join a particular class because
Okay.
to some of us, the busy schedules may not permit us to be active or to join during the specified hours. So
Okay.
please, if I want to play or play back the audio, what should I do? How do I go about it?
Okay, so now we have a website, right, where all the recorded videos are shared after class. So once you have an account there, you can access all your videos. We normally put now even your Zoom meetings will be done on the website. Okay, you just go there, you join meeting, and then the website has so many information. We'll be posting daily and weekly articles, notes, blogs, so that you can be watching, reading, and following up. Okay. Equally, the YouTube channel, our YouTube channel will also have enough information for you to follow up. So for that one, for that aspect, you don't have a problem. Is your
Okay,
question?
thank you.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
please.
All right. So if you have any question for me, I'm still open. I'm still open.
Hello, sir.
Yes, boss.
Sir, please. The next one has to do with the manual or the pamphlet that we can get so that we can be able to follow you after the lectures. If we also want to revise, please, how do we go about that one too?
Okay, so well, as and when we have important materials that you need, we will share. Okay, but then I recommend that every student of mine or my tuition center should have the ICA recommended study manual. That is the first material. Okay, if you don't, please make sure you have, because that alone, if you have the ICA manual alone, it guarantees at least 40% of your success. Okay, because the reason is because there's a particular wording and a particular way ICA have structured their study text, okay, that you need to make your exam a success. All right, so as a student, there are some particular things you must have. You must have the syllabus. Okay, if you are doing corporate reporting, print the side of the corporate reporting syllabus. Okay, and attach it to your book that you'll be using to learn. The syllabus first, you need a recommended study manual together with a reference material. Okay, you need past questions. You need an accountability group. A lot of people don't know that these are the requirements for success in every class, in every course you are doing. And you need time for practice. If you don't practice, trust me, you may get the best lecturer in the world and you will still fail. Okay, so my problem is people don't practice enough. People don't practice enough. If you practice enough, you will see success. Are we okay? I hope you got me. If you practice enough, you will see what?
Success.
That is it. So if you practice enough, you are definitely going to see success. Most people do not practice enough, and that is the problem. Okay, if you practice enough, you are going to see success. Our problem is most people don't know how to learn, and that is what is worrying us. Most people don't know how to learn. But if you know how to learn, you know how to practice, definitely you will definitely see success, right? Success is always guaranteed when you follow the right approach. Okay, and the funny thing is you would think it's stress, but you will realize that it has even cut short most of the things you are supposed to learn. Some topics are better learned with questions than trying to rote learn it. When we say rote learning, it means chew and pour. Do you get it? Rote learning is what we call chew and pour. So instead of not using rote learning, some topics you can use calculations, reading theories and answers, right, to help you understand them very well. I hope that is okay. I hope that is okay. But
Yes, please, sir.
the whole thing is that
Yes, sir.
if you want to succeed, okay, if you want to succeed in any paper, I will give you the hard truth. Learn. When we say learn, I want you to change your mindset from I am going to get last minute support. I am going to get questions. ICA has changed the trend. Prediction. No. As a student, you shouldn't predict. Yours is to learn. So tell yourself, this thing, normally we need about 16 weeks to complete it. I only have 12 weeks. What are the most important topics that if I learn 100% off and even ignore other ones, I can still pass and get the 50? The thing is that the reason why 50 marks is the pass mark is that ICA knows that you cannot do everything within the specified time. But there are some things, whether you like it, you don't like it, they will always be there, true or false.
It's true.
Yeah, so I don't understand why somebody should fail an ICA paper. If I say people say you're a shark, no, I'm not a shark.
I have been able to convert the most average people, right? Somebody who is above 60 years has been able to pass through my hand. People who are, so if you see them, you say this person is dumb. He has been able to pass. People who finished school 20 years ago, they came to start ICA, they've been able to make it. But the people who are alive and always active and always learning, rather, I don't know whether it's complacency. I don't know whether, you see, I can't really tell what the problem is. But I know the ultimate thing that is making people fail is fear. And two, they don't know how to answer questions. I'll tell you. See, I have seen people fail over and over again, but they are the most smartest students. Only to come and check their handwriting later and notice that, handwriting in Yakra. He himself, when he writes, he cannot see. He himself, when he writes, he cannot see his handwriting. It's a very bad problem. See, if we check the examiner's comments for all ICA papers, there's a common problem that runs through: grammar, handwriting, ill preparation, using wrong models to answer a question. Listen carefully. We spend more time going to classes. We spend more time trying to understand than preparing for the battle. I keep telling people this. How many of you have sat down, taking the syllabus by your side, taking a notebook, looking at topics in the syllabus, and asking, what is the simplest way I can understand this topic? Start doing research, go to Google, look for the topic, go to YouTube, look for the topic. How many people do this? Just jump straight into class. Before you do everything, you must have knowledge about it. There's one principle in life. What you don't have knowledge of, God does not give you. If you do not have knowledge of your pass mark, God will never give you your pass mark. I'm telling you. I always have this motto: we must do the possible things for God to do the impossible things in our lives. I always say this. It means that employ God in your life. Take a step, then God has something to work with. If I tell you to work on a project and I don't give you something to work with, you cannot work. Is it understood? That has been my principle. And people who follow it pass. It's like all ICA students, all they know is, say, the things are too many. Streamline it for us. Limit it for us. I've given you the key topics. So why won't you bang your hopes? Master these key topics in and out. But you know what they do? They just look at it 1 or 2 times and they think they know it. Then they ignore it. No practice, nothing. So when the thing comes and they twist it a little, then they say ICA has changed the trend. ICA has not changed any trend. You didn't learn enough. Your answers are inadequate. You understand? So tutors will prepare them a lot. But now that there's so much information, people do not prepare enough. See, if you make your mind that you will make it, you will make it. It's just that people are not putting in enough effort. If you put in the required effort, trust me, you'll be amazed at your results. I keep saying this. People keep getting the hope. They keep getting the motivation. But the motivation dies along the way. Don't be motivation. Are you getting it? Motivation driven, or how do we say it? Motivation soaked, but be motivation enhanced. Most people are motivation driven, or they rely on motivation. It is like what? You have dopamine. Dopamine is the substance that is released that makes you excited to do something, like that feeling. Like you feel like, yeah, you listen to some inspiring message and all of a sudden you want to take action. Okay. But tomorrow morning you wake up and you feel so tired. Okay. If you are motivation driven, it's only things that must happen for you to take action. But when you are motivation enhanced, you become automatically disciplined. Okay? The reason why people don't take action is because they do not have a system, not a routine. A routine can be changed because of circumstances, but when you have a system cannot be thwarted. It means that every time you must follow that system. In all my years of teaching, right, over a decade of teaching, I have come to a final conclusion from when I was a student to when I started teaching and now. I have realized that students in Ghana prefer last minute, and that is their downfall. Please, did you hear me? Who can repeat what I said for me? I said what?
Students in Ghana prepare last minute.
They prefer last minute. And that has always been their downfall. It doesn't matter what you teach them within the 3 months. They will wait the last 2 weeks for the paper. That is when they start preparing. All in the name of my work is so busy. I don't get home early. I get home around 8. I have to take care of my children. Now, listen carefully, not to offend anyone. Those problems, were they not there before you started the course? Oh, please answer me. Just we are doing a heart-to-heart here before we dive into the syllabus walkthrough. Your children, were they not there before the course? Even if you hadn't given birth then, there were problems, work and other things were there before you started the course. True or false? True or false?
True.
True.
Okay.
True.
If all these problems were there before you started the course, then why didn't you stop the course and say, okay, my work is busy, my children, my husband, my course, my project, so let me just put this course on hold so that when I'm less free, I do the course. But you proceeded to do the course despite those challenges, and now you are using those challenges rather as an excuse. Then why did you go into the course in the first place? You should have left it. Do you get my point? I hope no one is offended. I like the bitter truth so that you sit up. See, it's not about motivation, neither is it about discipline. It is both, a balance of both. I learned a principle which changed my life. I am doing this. I want to study today. I feel so tired. Okay, let me just pretend as if I'm not tired and see what will happen. You see, you feel so tired. 20, 30 minutes, and sometimes 15 minutes into it, you see that you start picking up. That's it. Sometimes I wake up, I'm very stressed, very tired. I have to teach. I just pretend as if I'm not tired and start teaching. I start with a dull voice. By the time you see about 20 minutes in, you see I start picking up. And this strategy, you wake up, you are going to the gym, you feel that today I don't want to go. I'm so tired. My muscles are sore. Just pretend as if your muscles are not sore and do it and see. You want to learn IFRS 16. Today you are very tired. Just pretend as if, right? Lie on your bed. Start from somewhere. Go type IFRS 16 in Google. Try. As you start reading, the guy takes a question. Oh, where's my book? Ghanaians like binge watching lectures like they watch a movie. We don't learn like that. When we do videos in class or we go a session, let's say I did a session on a calculation, let's say, then people go home, they look at the video, maybe you didn't join class. Even the class, when you are solving question, they don't practice. So they'll say, so that I don't draw you back, we will watch later. And the watching later is just watching, listening. They don't solve the question. They don't put paper and pen down. They just watch you solve and they think they have learned. See, if you don't put your hand to it, you don't build what we call hand-to-eye coordination. If you like, watch all the lectures on corporate reporting and don't put a pen to paper and go and set the paper. Even if the lecturer is the best lecturer, is the examiner, you will still fail because you didn't build hand-to-eye coordination. That is the bitter truth. It's not about how many tuition centers you attend. It's about how you discipline yourself and study. This course you are doing, is somebody's 3-year course in the university. 3-year course in the university, just level 3 in America. For instance, that corporate reporting paper, but you are doing it in a few months. It tells you that you must use a strategy. I hope you are learning something. Please, it is what you tell yourself that works for you. And also, there's circulated so much fear about the papers. Something like case study, corporate reporting, the circulation of fear, there's been circulation of fear around everywhere you go, that because of this fear, people are not passing. Okay. A paper like advanced audit, I can tell you the fact that advanced audit is difficult than corporate reporting. Somebody should dispute me right now. Dispute me. Who knows that advanced audit is difficult than corporate reporting? Who knows? Whatever you learned in corporate reporting can be examined in advanced audit and assurance. I'm telling you. But they can't examine the key things in advanced audit in corporate reports. Everything you learn, tax, case study, whatever, is part of audit. Now listen, because they've sold the mindset, oh, upe 2 courses I'll be here to just pass level 3. Start with audit and tax. So in people's minds, audit is easy. That mindset alone makes people pass. Do you get it? So it's the circulation of that fear that they've created in the system. That is what is making people fail. So this guy would have been good at corporate reporting, but because corporate reporting, there's the most failed people ahead you. Matisa heading one take it time I'll be failing. This thing is in the person's mind. So he has told his mind he is incapable of passing corporate reporting before even entering class. So even if you teach him everything, because the mind has not accepted that corporate reporting is easy, no matter what you do, this guy will still fail. He created that law for himself at the start of the class, the starts. So before you finish, if you like give him a pour, he will still go and fail. That's how powerful the human mind is. So it tells you something. Sharpen your mind from the start. Tell yourself enough is enough. If people can do it, I can also do it. Those excuses were there before I started this course. What plan can I put down to overcome these obstacles? Spend more time planning, having a strategy, a step-by-step strategy you will use to pass the paper, rather than just diving straight into learning. It's the wrong strategy. It's the wrong approach. Do you get me? Okay, just a little recap. What have you learned from what I've said so far? What have you learned from what I've said so far? Oh, feel free, talk. We are doing a heart-to-heart here.
You say you change our mindset.
Okay. You should change your mindset. Is that all I said? What did I say? Is it only about changing your mindset?
In addition, you said to be focused and be determined.
I mean, you see, should be disciplined enough, right? I see it. If I should tell you something, I can't disclose because I'm streaming on YouTube. But let's just say that, look at this. I have created my club. Are you listening? Then I bring you into the club, all of you. I bring you all into my club to come and what? Join as members. Okay. Then I tell you that, oh, we will conduct some little tests. Okay. Any one of you who takes the test and pass the test, right, will be promoted to the next level of the club. But remember, whose club is it? It is my club. I decide who to pass and who to fail. Do you get the mindset? Do you get the mindset? Do you get what I'm trying to put across? So you may be the best person. You may be the smartest person. But if you don't meet some specific requirements of DS, no matter how smart you are in your writing, you can still fail. And somebody who didn't even answer all the 5 questions and met those requirements will pass and you will fail. If you come and understand this thing the hard way, you will start asking yourself, so what are the requirements that I need from the start? Before that 3-month period, now why you're okay, you know the trick. Me, any course I start, you will think I'm slow.
I will spend, if it's 3 months, I'll spend the first 2 months just doing research and wow, research. Simple ways to do this. This standard is a problem for people. Leasing is a problem. Maybe related parties is a problem. Console is a problem. IES 38 is a problem. IES 8, prior period adjustment is a problem. Okay, I know these standards are the problem here. So if this is a problem, is there a simple way? Because people have done it before. Is there a simple way I can overcome these problems before I even start practicing? So from there, I start putting down a step-by-step plan. Okay, so since this standard is a problem, is it the whole standard or is a part of the standard? No problem, no work. You start looking at the examiner's comment, the examiner's report. Question 4 says this, and student didn't do it well because they should have done it this way. You note it down, you write, you underline. Listen, this is what you are supposed to do. Otherwise, they will not bring examiner's comments. Performance of candidates, strength of candidate, weakness of candidates. That is what Ghanaian students should be learning. When they take PASCO, they jump straight to the question. They don't read. They take any book. They don't even know that there are chapter objectives in the textbook. They just jump right. That is what is killing us. I'm telling you. I realize that if I take a full textbook within 1 month, if I'm very slow, within a month I can finish the whole textbook. Me, 1 week I finish every textbook. That whole ICA textbook that people carry. If I buy 1 week, I'm done. But students who spend the whole 3 years say, "Hey, I didn't do soon." We always like to complain, but we don't take action. Say, "Dos, what then? You see the thing? I like it that way. Okay, that's fine. I accept. Then I may because me pay, whether I like it or not, I must learn it. And that is what they examine me on. Okay, it's plenty. Okay, what did you do about that plenty? Did you get me? Did you guys get me? It is plenty. Yes, it is plenty. So what are you doing about that plenty? That is it. Everything is about solving the problem. What is the problem at hand? What are you doing about that problem? That is all. If that can be done, I tell you, you've solved your pass mark. You've solved about, let's say, 50% of the pass mark. That means when you're 50, because you've got to identify where the problems are and you've started working towards a definite solution. Hello?
Hi. Sir, please, we are following.
Okay. So now we are going to do some few things, right? And then it's now question time. And question time is, let me know what problems each of you, okay? I'm just taking questions, let's say contributions or experiences from just 5 people, right? You just put up your hand. Tell me what you have experienced with these ICA papers that you think didn't help you, right? Anything, you can say anything. I just want your contributions in terms of preparation, what you have seen, in terms of failure, what you have seen. It will also help a brother, right? Before we dive into it. Yes, anyone? Oh, feel free. We are doing a heart-to-heart here so that everyone can pass once and for all. That's my job for you, right? So, yes, anyone? Just feel free.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Francis.
Sir, I have realized that my inability to solve the past questions, that is ICG past questions, was actually a major problem for me when I was writing PSA.
Okay.
So I wasn't able to get it at the first time, and the second time too, I wasn't able to get it. It was in the third sitting that I was able to solve past questions, and then that has really helped me to know the structure of the questions, and then the way, just as you said, the comment being raised by the examiner. So based upon which I have also planned the whole and prepare well towards the last exams, and that has made me to pass through that exam. So that is what I can say for now. Thank you.
So you see, these are some of the things that I believe if you start preparing towards, you will see that success will be an open door for you. Do you understand? I hope everybody's okay. I told you I'm taking 5 contributions. Yes, anyone? Another. If we don't take 5, we are not moving on. Feel free. Feel free. We are all learning here. Yes. Yes, anyone? Or experiences you've had with your ICA exam that you think can help another person? What do you think people can do to help them pass? From your own experience, from your own practice, how you pass some paper, it could be MA, it could be what? What are some of the things you did that you think can help a brother? What are some of the weaknesses you see that you think people should avoid? Please. I mean, you've done some things that have helped you, which you think people should know. It can also help them. I've shared mine. Please, I'm open. We need 5 people. 1 is gone. We need 4. Time is not on our side. I don't want to take so much of your time, but these are the little things that I want us to know first. Yes?
Hello, Bill.
Yes, boss.
Yeah, this is Eric. Yeah, from my side, I realized that we don't pay attention to the syllabus because we just hear that, oh, this person is good, we go, we listen to the person instead of really going through the syllabus detail by detail to understand what is required of the course so that we can really focus our attention to whatever you are supposed to know, because it's based on the syllabus that the questions are set. So if you really don't get what is required of you, you can learn whatever you want to learn. But when you go to the exam, you will not be able to answer the questions that is required of you. That's one thing I've observed. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Very good point. I mean, as we started, we said this. Was Nipo Bindieda. The person doesn't even know what is required. And one is say, they are here training or class. No, that's all he's learning. This person doesn't know. He haven't even seen the syllabus before. There are some people writing corporate reporting. They came with MBA and other things. They've not, you will be somewhere in class. Before we are even coming to, they'll be like, say, can you share some of the questions so we see how the questions come, how they come? I'm like, really? So you don't even know how the paper you are writing, how the questions come, and you are setting the paper. Abi, you are teaching us. Hey, Ghana. That's fine. Yes, Isaac, your hand is up.
Say,
Yeah, Bob, good evening.
Good evening, my boss.
I think most of we the student, our problem is we know the theory, but because you said something like hand-to-eye coordination is not there, we don't practice. We find it difficult in the exams room. Personally, corporate reporting, if I am to lecture, I can lecture a whole class, every topic for them to understand. But because I don't practice in solving a lot of questions, if I get to the exams, or I don't have problems. So I think my problem could be the same problem with colleagues. So I think we need to practice more questions, which will help us to get the coordination with our hands and with the eyes so that we can make it. Thank you.
Boss. That is
good news, sir.
very true. Yes, my boss.
Yeah, I think with me, I think the technical knowledge
Okay.
and application of the persons,
Okay.
then the models that you can use. I
Okay.
think they used to answer the question more of a theory than being more practical. That's been my challenge.
Okay. So this model thing, something like SCS, right? You see, the problem that I see students have is that, okay, the lecturer has taught you theory, how to apply. Now it is in your head. But if you yourself do not sit down, take a case study, and try to apply, you will not learn the hard way. I may teach you how to apply, but if you don't practice yourself on how to apply,
it will be difficult because every scenario is different. I hope you guys get me. So I can teach you everything, but the material now I apply a do D-Day now, you can't apply. Do you get it? We like to use our eyes to learn instead of our hands. Okay. You are accountant, you write, you solve. That's the job of an accountant. So I want to be seeing more writing and more solving. That is the only way. Okay, but most of us are busy professionals. Yeah, anytime. I always try to make my class so simple, okay, for you. It doesn't matter what I'm teaching you, but I always try to simplify it because I know you are the busy type. You don't have time to learn plenty, so I don't do it plenty for you. I simplify things for you. Then at least some small efforts, you should be fine. I think application has been the problem for students. It doesn't matter the course. For instance, now that corporate reporting, they are bringing more story problems, right? More cases, especially around sustainability, IT, environmental reporting. I'm very happy because now it will distinguish those who are not learning from those who are learning. Because if they bring a case on sustainability and then they tell you somebody has been doing rubber production and the person finally disposes of the rubber at the back of the building, some stakeholders came, he didn't mind them, he bribed some of them, the government is now coming in, and then they come and ask you things around sustainability and environmental reporting, or maybe integrated reporting and how it applies to this case. A lot of people just go and dump theory there, which will only score them about 2 of the marks out of 10. But then that practicality, the practical aspect, we build it by hand-to-eye coordination, a few other techniques, balancing your argument. Most people do not understand the verbs that are used, right? This has been a big problem. A student that they say explain, right? Evaluate, analyze. Do you know most people are using the same answer for these 3 things, but they are different? This has also been a big problem. And in class, we assume that from your lower level education, you learn all these things. So why would we worry ourselves teaching you what explain means? If we say evaluate, what does it mean? Analyze, justify, criticize. You get it? Discuss. We know you know. And you think most people think they know. So they don't ask. And I tell you that each of them justify, criticize, explain, whatever, they have their meanings and what you should do at what point in time to be able to answer them. You get the idea? Hello? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's see something. So let's first just start with paper 3.1. How many of you are doing paper 3.1 here? Corporate reporting. Just put by hand. I think Ruth, sorry, before we continue, Ruth, your hand was up. Sorry. Please tell us your issue before we proceed. Think.
Okay, yeah. Good evening, sir. What has been my challenge? I've written corporate reporting about 4 times, but what I realized is that when we start with the consolidation, I'm on track.
Okay.
But as soon as we start adding on, like the step acquisition and the other ones, then if I'm unable to go back to revise, as soon as it becomes plenty and I go back, then it looks like I'm lost. I'm not
Okay.
able.
That problem we can easily
Yes.
solve. Is there any other
Yes.
problem? I'll
Then
show you.
the ratio.
Okay.
Sometimes when you get to the exam hall, you realize that the calculations look like they've brought in new terms. I don't know if it's like the turnover ratios and those other ones. Like they mix it up in a certain way before you know. It looks like you have never revised it, or even the ones you have met there looks a little different, and then it just throws you overboard. So yes, so I think that has been.
Oh, tell me to hear Anigume. So just tell me. I know where all the problems come from. Tell me. And what else?
For now, that is what I have.
Valuation. One changes format. No, we can to average earnings per share. You don't know, you've never seen it in the textbook, Megwa.
Yes, please, sir.
Ah, it is because we want you to understand more of the concept than the different questions. Like it should come like this. No, the concept, principle behind it, right? Don't worry, I'll come and show you. This, I'm here for you. Don't worry. Corporate reporting like this, I'll open your eyes small to some few things, right? Then case study 2, I'll open your eyes big to some few things. Okay. Yes. So what you are saying is that that is not only your problem, everyone. But what you people fail to see is that, listen, consolidation, if you cast your mind to consolidation, it's just 4 things. Plus changes in ownership is everywhere. Come to understand the fact that changes in group structure is in every question. That's the first thing you have to learn. That is the only thing that links level 2 and level 3. Changes in group structure, acquisition, step acquisition, control to control acquisition, right? You come and look at disposal, control to control, then full disposal, disposal to associate, disposal to maybe an investment, disposal to joint venture. That thing is the most important part. Apart from that, console is only 4 under corporate reporting. 1. If we are talking about consolidation, are you guys following? I hope you can all see my screen.
Yes, sir.
The key is changes in group structure. When I say the key, it means that you cannot, this is what we call corporate reporting. Corporate reporting is about changes in group structure. But when we are looking at the 4 key areas, right? When we are looking at the 4 key areas that we examine under corporate reporting for console, it's because of how it is taught in class. That's why you get confused. But if you come to understand that this is the first thing you need to know, do you understand? That links every question here. So the first thing is, okay, 1, it is either coming as complex groups. Okay, complex groups. And we know complex groups will be either a mixed group or what? Vertical group. So this can be a vertical group. And a vertical group is where a parent acquires a subsidiary acquires a sub-subsidiary, right? Or it can come as a mixed group. Okay, a mixed group is what we call a D-shaped group. Okay, why? Because it looks like a D. So D-shaped group is where parent acquires a sub acquires a sub, then parent passes the back to acquire a direct interest in the sub. So you see, it looks like a D. This is the first type of questions they can ask you. And this is where we see most of the P&L and balance sheet. Most questions here are often balance sheet questions. Because most of the adjustment here are mostly balance sheet adjustments. So mostly if they bring vertical group and mixed group, they are mostly balance sheet. Sometimes they come as P&L and balance sheet, but they are rare. I can show you why P&L and balance sheet are rare. In all the diets, it has come about roughly 2, let's say 3 times, right? That tells you that mostly here, the focus, because most of these group adjustments are mostly done on the balance sheet rather than P&L. If P&L is coming, I'll show you how it is examined, right? But the mixed group and vertical group is like they are examined 80% of the time. I'll tell you. So the 20%, let me make it 90. 10% of the time, it is the other areas. Okay. So if you want to really master corporate reporting, this is the area you must kill yourself. If you kill yourself here, console, you are guaranteed success. Is it clear? Hello? Is it clear to everyone? We are
Yes,
learning.
please, sir, we are following.
Yeah, so here, if you focus well, there's no way you are going to fail. 2, the second area is very rare. That is your consolidated statement of changes in equity. So your console sourcing statement of changes in equity. It is a rare gem. But this one, it is rare, very rare. Rarely, I think about 2 times. But This thing is the only thing that links the balance sheet and the P&L. But really, I see Ankasa, they don't really examine console changes in equity like that. Okay. But you must know it. And we don't teach it in class. So when you go and it comes, it takes you by surprise. Okay. This one is a rare gem. Then you now come to foreign operations. Okay. So foreign operations here, we are looking at IAS 21, right? So IAS 21, if you see foreign operation, you're looking at a foreign subsidiary, foreign branch, foreign joint venture, foreign associate. It doesn't matter, but foreign subsidiary. So here, no foreign currency transactions, and then no foreign subsidiaries, right? Mostly ICA doesn't want to stress you, so they only bring foreign subsidiary. And it's been a while since this came. I think somewhere 2020, it came 2019, it came. That was the only times. We've been waiting for it. Then cash flow too, we've been waiting for it for a while. Finally, cash flow came last night. I've been telling them, they just don't listen. Okay, so statement of cash flows, IAS 7, right? Now, this is the whole of console in corporate reporting. The last area is console theory. So all these areas, let's say if it will come, it will always be around 20 marks, right? The 5 marks left is console theory and console standards. So the IFRS 3 business combination, the IAS 28 associate, the Companies Act aspect, IFRS 11 joint arrangements, IFRS 12. Okay, I mean, they are there. All those theory, IFRS 10. Okay, these ones, they can just ask you out of the blue. Okay, that amounts to the 5 marks. That comes from consolidation. So you put it together, that's about 25 marks. So the whole of corporate reporting, console and NNA. Do you guys get it? Do you guys get it?
Yes,
Hello?
sir. Yes, yes,
So
sir.
when you
Yeah,
come to consolidation route, if you want the right structure to learn console, so that when you are going back, you don't get confused, this is how you learn consolidation. Do you understand?
okay.
Learn
Yes,
the changes in group structure. Know that it is a key part of every question that you see here. Now, start applying it to complex groups. Consolidated changes in equity, foreign operation, cash flows. Cash flow, this thing, mostly they bring it as acquisition of subsidiary and disposal. And what happens is that if you acquire a new subsidiary and you are doing cash flow, remember that when you acquire, the person brought his own inventory, all those things. It's part of the inventories, right? So you have to work to find the missing figure, which may be the increase in inventory or decrease in inventory, increase in receivables, increase or decrease in payables. That is it. So all these things, changes in group structure is everywhere. You understand? So that is the part relating to consolidation. If anybody has any input, any contribution, any issue, that is the first part. All right. Any question? Any question? Ruth, are you okay now?
yes, sir.
Okay. Now, when it comes to the ratios part you were saying, okay, the problem is that people think ratios should only be calculated, like it should only be financial information, but that is not true. Like last night, they brought in non-financial information as well. And as an accountant, you need to be able to build relationships, okay, between every figure that they are going to give you. Every information should be linked to one another, okay? That is it. People think about the ratios only, but you should know how to do common size and index analysis, which we call trend analysis. You should also know the impact. You should be able to interpret at a very higher level. All right. That is what is failing people. But there's a sure banker way of getting 15/15 in ratios. It is possible. I can teach you. All right. So in class, we'll learn all those things. But for now, let's just dive into the syllabus and see what we are supposed to know, how to deal with these things and become very successful. Right. Also, one thing that is failing people in corporate reporting is the weaknesses in their FR. A lot of people have weak basis in financial reporting? So the weak foundation in financial reporting because of exemption is also of Nyamiadum. Somebody didn't get exemption. He wrote financial reporting, and by God's grace, the question to you no pass it. Yay! Now you are here for corporate reporting. That thing you were avoiding, you come and meet it here again. You guys get it. Don't worry. Now, I need somebody to help with the reading. We are going to take a professional corporate reporting. Let's understand the aim of the model. Okay, then we look at it one by one, what we are supposed to know, dive into the syllabus, know the nitty-gritties. We'll be solving some questions here and there, like what is the examiner trying to say, one or two few things, right? It will be fun. I want you all to be involved. Whether you've passed the paper before, you haven't passed the paper, there's a reason. When we go to case study 2, whether you're writing or not writing, just follow. After that, I will show you. Are you getting it? What are some things in the syllabus people have been ignoring? You understand? So please, somebody read for us, and we have less time. Okay. By 9, that. Yes, please. Let's continue. Who is reading for us? I'm getting a sore throat. That's why I need something for me, please.
Prof, I read.
Okay.
All right.
3.1 corporate reporting. The aim of this module is to ensure that candidates apply the appropriate judgment and technical competence in the preparation and interpretation of financial statements for complex business entities. Students must also be able to evaluate and communicate the impact of current issues and development in corporate reporting to those who may not have the technical expertise.
Okay, before you continue, now you've seen what I've highlighted. Apply appropriate judgment. So it means that you may have scenarios where you have to judge the best option. Okay, so sometimes you get a question on some standard where somebody has done it wrong. Okay, before you can get a question where they'll tell you the financial, that's why you do ethics. So you apply appropriate judgment and you must show technical competence in preparation of financial statements. That's 1. And 2, interpretation of financial statements. Okay. For instance, when you look at ratio analysis in corporate reporting, right? I think some background is very noisy. So when you look at ratios in corporate reporting, right, it doesn't come as there's even something called comparative analysis. That's where you go and they give you a financial statement, cash flow statement, and they say analyze. Eba say I work with students because I prepared for gross profit ratio, net profit margin, ROCE. Then I go, then they give me cash flow statement. They say I should analyze. Then they don't know what to do. This is it. Anything they present to you, your duties as an accountant is to be able to make meaning from it. To be able to make meaning from it. Do you understand? And they are saying what? Evaluate and communicate the impact of current issues. That means there are current issues and development in corporate reporting to those who may not have that technical expertise. I want to show you some few things, right? Let's take our time, and please, you'll be writing, because this thing doesn't only apply to corporate reporting, it applies to every paper you are writing. Let's take our time and understand these things. These strategies will go a long way to help you in every paper, whether you're doing management, accounting, it doesn't matter, right? But just pay close attention to what I'm going to teach you and then apply it to every paper and you will see success. Is that okay? So we are going to try and understand some few things before we move on. But I'm still open for questions. If you have any question, just feel free to ask and then we proceed. Yes.
Can I continue?
No, I said you have to ask the questions first before we continue. We have a lot to do, so. So let me just show you some few things, right? So answering exam questions, whether it's SCS or corporate reporting, remember that each question will contribute to your success because all adds up to 100. Your target shouldn't be 50. There's one thing you do it, right? But you must do justice with each question and give allocated time to it, or you allot time. Students who start with their strongest questions first were always successful, and questions can be attempted in any order. Still, some people don't know that questions can be attempted in any order. Okay, it has been a problem. So make sure you use headings followed by a paragraph, and you must keep each paragraph specific to one point. I like to bullet point my paragraphs, right? So use bullet points for each sentence. Don't drag the paragraph to 6, 7 sentences, all clumped up together. Okay, this is what people is also failing people. One, their handwriting is not nice. Two, they clamp up paragraphs together. It's a problem, right? Now, you know, questions can either be numerical or they can be written questions, right? So when you are dealing with calculation questions, state the formula if possible. Let's say you are doing ratios, state the formula, show the method that you are using, right? Some have different methods. So after stating the formula, let's say if you are doing gearing, there are so many gearing ratios, which one? Then you explain as you go. Sometimes they tell you to write a report, so you can do an appendix, right? Then you make assumptions if in doubt. If you think that, okay, you know, sometimes they may give you something like this. Let me show you something. Whether corporate reporting or case study, right? Let's say that they are telling you to interpret for a company, right? They are telling you to interpret for a company. And then this is what happens, right? They give you the industry average ratios, okay, for the company. Let's say they give you industry average. Now, industry average, then they write here gearing. Okay, then they write here, let's say 0.4. Now, do you know which gearing ratio they calculated? Please answer me. Assuming you are now going to calculate yours to support this one or interpret. Do you know how they calculated this? Whether they did debt to equity, or they did debt to total capital, or they did debt to total assets. Do you get it? Which one? So you are in doubt here, and a lot of students will leave this blank. But you can pick any of them and state an assumption that you assume that this gearing there is the debt to total capital ratio, and thereby your calculation is this, or is the debt to equity ratio, because they didn't give you any guide as to how they calculated it. Please, does it make sense to all of you? Does it make sense? Hello?
Yes, please, sir. We are following.
So please be giving me responses so I know my network is not messing up. I beg you.
Okay, please, sir.
Keeping quiet. All right. So now that we've seen this, let's go back to where we were. Okay. Now, when it comes to written questions, you must check the format. Are they asking you for a report? Are they asking you for an essay? Are they asking you for listed points? Use headings, subheadings, and sometimes you can use columnar forms, tables. It doesn't matter. But use short paragraphs for essays and reports. Use numbered points for most questions, simple sentence approach. So mostly for me, this is what I choose for my students. When you do answers like this, they look very, what word should I use? Very professional, right? So look at these students. Let me show you something. Student 1, right? This is student 1. He writes point 1 like this. Okay, does this, right? You know this approach, right? Then point 2. And you write the point, you bring your colon, you write. Okay. You guys know this approach, don't you? You know this, right? Let's look at student 2.
Yes, sir.
Student 2. 1. He writes, okay. Then he underlines. Then now puts his paragraph in there. with bullet points, bullet 1, bullet 2, bullet 3, right? Which is still the same paragraph this guy wrote here. Then he comes to point number 2. He writes the point, then underlines. Then the same paragraph, each sentence, he makes it a bullet point. Tell me, which one looks more presentable?
Student 2.
Why? Now I'm asking from your point, why?
Because of the bullet point.
Okay. And not only the bullet point, because of the headings. It comes out, right? Rather than doing this and putting colon by the side, I prefer you rather use headings, write each sentence at a bullet point, leave ample space. It even checks on the organization of your work. Have you seen? These things we assume you know already, so we don't teach you in class. Because wherever you came from, you know this. But I tell you the fact that a lot of people don't know this. Hello? Can we
Hi,
proceed?
sir. Yes, you are loud and clear.
All right. So who has any question? You can ask before we go. Yes? Okay. So since you don't have any question, who read for us? I think who was reading before? The person should continue. Let's really, please, I hope you have your writing pads by you. Please, this thing applies to all courses. We want to really understand what each of these verbs mean and the key tips to answer them. If you have this, you have a chance of passing any paper because these are the verbs, like the things that they want, the requirements that if you know, you can do every question, right? We don't spend time learning these things. That is why we have a problem. But I tell you, if you spend time understanding these things, then you don't have a problem. Understood? Whether public sector or corporate reporting or tax or it works like magic. All right, so let's go. Who is reading for us? Do we have any lady? I want a lady to read this time. Yes. Quickly, we have a lot to do. We have to dive into the syllabus. So. Okay. The ladies don't want to read. The man.
Hello.
Understand as requirement for the exam.
Yes. Millicent, do you want to read for us? Oh, she dropped off. She said hello. No, she went off. Yes, who will read for us? She's back. Maybe she wants. Millicent, are you back? Hello, Millicent. Millicent.
Yes, please. Yes, please. That's not my network. Hello, sir, please.
Yeah, we can hear you.
That's not my network, so I can.
Okay. Yeah, so let a man read and let's go.
Okay.
Okay, Bill, let me read.
Okay, that's fine.
Understand each requirement for the exam. When answering an exam question, it is important to consider the question requirements carefully to make sure you understand exactly what is being asked. We highlight some common question verb used in exams. So it's in the table form. So requirement, that's the verb, actual meaning, key tips to answer. The first one is analyze. Actual meaning, breaking into separate parts and discuss, examine, or interpret each part.
Before you continue to the key tips to answer, look at this. I tell you that using a pestle analysis or analyze using pestle, right? Look at this. It means that break the case into separate parts. That is why when you take political, right? Discuss the issue inside this political examine why it impacts the organization involved, and interpret why it is important or not. Do you see how these things are done? That application said we don't know how to apply it because you don't understand the verbs. And I keep telling people all the time, everything is the point you want to make, the explanation of the point, and what? Evaluation or analysis. We don't spend time learning these things. That is why we think the exam is difficult. It has never been and will never be. Is that your approach to learning is what is pulling you back, right? Look at the white man. He does his Kaplan books, BPP books, about 20 or 25 pages. I see a student who just take it and skip all those ones and jump straight to the topic. But they're giving you all the necessary techniques from the start of the book. How many of you have been reading those techniques? I can tell you, a few. If your lecturer is learning those techniques, why can't you, the student, learn them? We just jump straight to topic and we want to understand. I mean, the book has some things, fast forward, key tips, all those things, you need to know them. But how many of us? So did you understand? When we say analyze, it means break it into separate parts and discuss those issues, examine it, or interpret each part. Are you getting it? So the key tip I want to give you when you are answering such things is just give reasons for the current situation or what has happened, and mostly the impact on the particular company. Okay, if you are doing ratios, let me show you a simple trick. Look at this. You are giving ratios, right? Then you see revenue. Let's say the company's revenue has 20x2, 20x1. I'm showing you. We have 4 million Ghana cedis. We have 2.5 million Ghana cedis. What has happened? Revenue has gone up, right? Revenue has gone up. Now, if we want to break into separate parts, we know revenue is made up of two things: price and what? Quantity. Remember?
Yeah.
I have broken this into separate parts. Now I'm going to discuss. If revenue has gone up, it is either price has gone up, right? If quantity, revenue has gone up, it may be that quantity has gone up, right? But then let me examine it closely. During the year, a competitor left the market. This is evidence. That may be, if the competitor left the market, then the impact may not specifically be on the quantity. It may be on the quantity purchase, right? Because more customers will now move to you because the competitor left the market. So I like my friend the W's. Why? What has happened? Revenue has gone up. Why has it happened? Because a competitor left the market. When did it happen? It happened somewhere during the year. How did it happen? The competitor was sent away by government. So what is the implication? If revenue should increase like this, it will increase the company's market share. And I would encourage management to put in more effort to even try to reduce the barriers to entry into that market by increasing their technical competence, putting in measures in place, proper controls, trainings, increasing their knowledge management approach, right? To ensure that this is, I'm just giving a hypothetical answer. I'm not saying go and do all this, but you get the whole idea. So the thing is, when we say analyze something, you are looking at what happened, why did they happen, when did they happen, how did they happen, so what? This is the most important part. So what? The implication on the company. So what? You are doing ratios. Hardly do you see people do this. They'll go and tell you, gross profit has changed from 20% to 30%. So what? Keep asking yourself this question. You can answer every question. So what? Ask yourself as if you're an examiner and you're answering your own ratio question. You say gross profit has shot up by 40%. So what? Now you guys answer me. Revenue has gone up from 2.5 million to 4 million in absolute terms. So what? Yes, somebody should answer. So what? If revenue has gone up, so what? Please answer me. That's how we answer questions. Yes? Oh, I'm waiting. Oh, we have a lot to do so that we move. Hello? Oh, if revenue has gone up, so what? Nobody's saying anything. What's the impact on the company?
Gross profit has increased.
Oh, you haven't given me the implication. You haven't. Use your own business. If your revenue goes up, what is the implication on your company? How does it affect your business if your revenue goes up? This is how they want you to be answering your ratios, to be answering the questions. Give vivid and applicable points, right? You're a consultant. As a consultant, how do you do these? Yes, I'm listening. Oh, implication of revenue increase.
That will result into profit.
Scholarships I am mom solo. Funny complaining news Morocco for this all this.
Daddy,
Mama Kofoni so I'm mom with the other mom. No munya piece of mind you say again.
Also, as far as the Ghana Air Force were officially took over guard duties, the presidency fund, they made it a short ceremony witnessed by President and the Chief of the Ghana Air Forces, was his first since his re-election.
You get the idea. So you can put your self into the shoes of the company, right? More revenue is an avenue to get more customers, right? How do you hone those customers? What is the impact on its cost? Does more revenue means more cost? More cost means what is the impact on the profit? If there's more profit, what is the state? Do we retain more profit or we pay some as dividends, which ends up increasing shareholder wealth? You see, when you start understanding the impact on the overall financial statement, you can build linkage. This revenue increasing, was it all on credit? Do you have a proper credit policy? How did it affect the receivable days? How did it affect the receivable turnover? There's a relationship between balance sheet and P&L items. How do you relate them? Was it because of creative accounting? How many cash sales actually did we have enough cash from this revenue increase? Because if it's on credit, it depends on who you are interpreting to. Are you interpreting it for shareholders? Are you interpreting it for lenders? Are you interpreting for creditors, for customers, for auditors? You must know who you are analyzing to, right? Then you know what to say. Does it make sense? Anyway, I'm wasting so much time here. Let's continue. So the key tip to answer, I told you, give reasons for the current situation or what has happened and the implication on the company. That's all. When we say apply, it means to put into action pertinently or relevantly. So when I say apply, okay, the thing that has happened, what does it lead to? Okay, what has happened and what does it lead to? So I take what has happened. Something might have happened in the case, and then I'm properly applying it to a scenario case. When we say assess, something has happened. What is the nature, the quality, something that somebody did, in my opinion, this thing and this thing, which is better. So you're looking at the strengths, the weaknesses, set the appropriate strategies. So you're looking at strategy A, strategy B. This one has pros, this one has cons. And case study likes this a lot. Okay, so you assess the pros and cons, and then you choose the better one. So you take the weaknesses and strength of this one, take the weaknesses and strength of this one, and choose the better one. So usually, this is what you will do by looking at the importance and how it applies to what you are doing. That's how we assess, right? So calculate, I'll not even go there, but make sure that when you're doing your calculation, you provide descriptions along with your calculation. For instance, if you are solving standards, right? Most standard questions, you see that the marks dwindle between 6, 8, and 10, right? Questions that are like 8 marks. When you solve, let's say you solve the standard on IAS 16, nice. Okay, make sure that that's why most of your corporate reporting now doesn't just let you calculate. It says show the accounting treatment or explain the accounting treatment. It means that you must do the calculation, then down there, you start explaining based on the calculation. But most people just explain and put numbers alongside. That's not so bad. But I prefer I do my whole calculation. Then I say as shown above, then I start explaining. All right. So when you want to get better marks at calculation questions, that's the strategy you use that will help you. Is it clear? Okay, let's proceed.
Yes, sir.
Comment, meaning to remark or express your opinion. But when they say comment, I don't see people using words like I think, in my experience, from what I have seen in the past. Those are the words that tell you it is an opinion. They say comment and people write their answers as if they are robots. No. Let us see these words. In my opinion, I think this is what I would like to suggest. In my experience, from my own organization, I have seen this in the past, and this is what happened. We want to say that is commentary. But we write it as if we just dab answers from textbook and start writing and expect to get the marks. It doesn't work like that, my brothers and sisters. You must learn. There's a smart way to pass. You can learn it. If I have been able to do it and I've never failed, you can also apply it and you will never fail. Just that we spend less time planning and learning these things. We just want, oh, then Eba, say you are talking too much, give us what is coming. But even if I give you what is coming and you don't know how to answer it, you will still not make it. I believe you are all capable of making it. You are just not following the right methodology. You understand? So you see these verbs. How many of you have been actually been able to diagnose these verbs as I'm doing here every time? Please be honest with me. How many of you actually know that these verbs, this is what they mean? Hello?
I say,
Yes, please.
please, we are following.
Yeah. I said, how many of you actually know that this is what these verbs mean? That's what I'm saying. I know you are following.
I don't know.
Same here, sir.
We hardly do.
We hardly do. That is it. Hardly. That is true. Do you get it? So when you start understanding these things, you will understand that this is the particular way this will be handled. You understand? Okay, so we've seen commentary. Now let's look at justify. When we say justify something, it means reasoning. Somebody has done something. Why do you think it should be right? Why do you think it should be wrong? Right? That is justify. So your answer should include an explanation, illustration, or criticism. I like using examples a lot, especially, let's say you are doing case study, right? They tell you to apply Greener's growth model. And they tell you from the case, what stage of the Greener's growth model has this company been or was he before he moved here? Now, assuming you don't even know what paragraph to go and pick that aspect of the Greener's growth model, you can use an example. And the example would definitely fit because everybody would have been in that same stage. If the stage is that during this stage, you must put managers to work, right? You must get managers and put them to work. And the crisis there is what? An autonomy crisis. You can say, for instance, if Mr. Yimadu was operating alone, and now that he brought managers in, because you would have read the case, though you are not going there, but you know what happened, right? Since he brought managers in, you think that these managers will compete, and that can lead to an autonomy crisis. See, though you haven't gone to the case, you see it still links to the case. True or false? Please be honest with me. Doesn't it link?
Yes, sir.
But you didn't go to the specific paragraph. This is how we apply. Most people, you tell them this all the time, but because they don't practice themselves, they cannot learn the skill. Have you ever seen a fitter always watching his boss, an apprentice? He has never taken a screwdriver or this thing before, but he knows all of them. On the day he will go under the car, do you think he can work?
Not at all, sir.
It's like when you are watching football, when the people are playing, it's like, oh, Kosi, oh, this guy is dull. But when you're on the field, you can't do it. It's hand-to-eye coordination. The human body needs action. If you don't take the action, you won't see results.
You are right, sir.
What somebody do and do the same is to sleep. Right? You can watch somebody sleep and repeat the same action. Watch somebody eat and repeat the same action. For gross motor skills, you can just watch and do. It's a natural part of you. But something that is not a natural part of you, you must put in the action for so many times before you see results. Is it clear? All right. So now we've seen what these things mean, right? Let's go to compare. Compare there, I don't have to talk about it. But what does it mean? It means that examine two or more things to identify their similarities and differences. But here, when we say compare, they only talk about the differences. Did you see where people are missing out? You can't compare any differences.
Yes,
You examine what two or more things to identify similarities and differences. Actually, this kind of verbs, we don't teach students, we teach tutors. So when I'm training tutors, this is how I train them so that they become very good at teaching their students. But now I'm taking you as if you are tutors and I'm teaching you so that now when you are learning, when you are writing answers, you know the exact answers to use. Make sense now?
Thank you, sir.
You clearly explain the resemblances or the differences, but I prefer you examine the two. Okay, these are the similarities, these are the differences. So it seems this is better than that one. Then that's your conclusion. ICA students don't like conclusion. Let me ask you, how many of you write ratio answers and always give conclusion on each of the levels they ask you? Profitability, you must give a conclusion and recommendation. Liquidity, conclusion, recommendation. Gearing, conclusion, recommendation. How many of you do that? Show by hand. If you have been putting recommendation and conclusion all the time on your analysis or your commentary. Yes? Anyone? Anyone? You see? So this is what is killing us.
But sir, please,
yeah, Francis, I'm listening.
Draw conclusion. Do we have to draw conclusion at the ending part of it, or it's supposed to be done after every analysis?
It's up to you. There's no round right format. You can do it after every analysis. I prefer that one. So if I have talked about ROCE, I have talked about maybe gross profit margin, I have talked about maybe net margin and maybe asset turnover, right? Down there, I'll give an overall conclusion of the profitability and what can be done to improve it. Then I move to liquidity. Somebody may also do all. At the end, he'll take each of them, but I don't like the just end. I like to do it as and when, right? Then you give an overall conclusion, which does not include all of them, but a whole conclusion about the effective performance and position of the company. Then you are done. Do you get me? You get me?
Yes, please, sir. Thank you.
That's fine. Okay, so we are there. Now we've seen compare. Conclusion. If they say conclude on something, that means look at how it will end. So look at this scenario. They tell you that conclude on the international expansion of so and so limited. So that means they're asking you, what do you think will happen? So somewhere in the case, they told you that the foreign government is stopping multinationals or they are restricting them on the amount of dividends they bring back to Ghana. And they tell you that conclude on the international expansion of so and so limited. What does it tell you? It tells you that so and so limited, if you should go to that country, what will happen? Government will restrict its income. Meboa. You cannot bring dividends to Ghana. True or false?
It's true.
So you are just going to tell them they say, so end your answer well with a clear decision. So you think that if he's going, he should find an appropriate way so that the restricted funds, he can put them and bring them to the country in a different way, either through management fees, fees for technical services, transfer pricing, or royalties. And that is your conclusion. You get it? Anyway, let's continue. When we tell you to criticize, we mean present the weaknesses or the problems, right? Evaluate the comparative worth. Don't explain the situation. Instead, what? Analyze it. You can't criticize and then go for explaining. No. Then they see. Why not? That is criticism, right? So criticism involves listening to both sides of the case and seeing whose matter is not sweet. Then criticize that person. Kofi, this one there, try at all. Are you getting it? Do you get it? It's something we do all the time, but writing it on paper, we don't know that's what we are supposed to do. Hello? You get?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure? Please ask me questions, so I'm here for you. Claire. Define, they will not talk about it, but define is the exact meaning. Describe. Some people think describe and define are the same. No, they are not the same. Describe has to do with what? Giving a detailed account of key features. So if I tell you to describe something, if you are not a very good student, you see, it's funny, the good student rather fail though. And the ones who are not good students, they always make it. This guy wants perfect answer. This guy will just go and list characteristics or features to describe. He'll get a full answer. But the one who wants to go define and then he thinks that's described, now lie. If I tell you to describe a car, how will you describe a car? Yes, somebody to describe a car for me. Tell me who is on point. Student one, a car is what? Let's say a machine that is used to convey people from one point to the other. Are you getting it? That's the definition of a car. Now, this guy cannot define a car. He said a car has a bonnet, it has a rim, it has a tire, it has a steering wheel, it has a door, it has mirrors. Who do you think will get a full mark? The one who defined the car as conveying people, or the one who showed all the characteristics of the car? Who has described a car?
One showing the characteristics.
See why people who are so smart have been failing, and those who think that they don't know and they write what they understand rather pass. Yes, it's used to what? Convey people. But you didn't describe the car. You only told us what it does. We were not looking for what it does. We are looking at how it looks like. Do you get it? That is description. Hello. So you make a picture with words. Identification is not only sufficient. Understood? Discuss is a debate. You talk about here, you talk about there, you examine in detail using arguments in favor of or against. So write about any conflict, compare and contrast. Then evaluate is what? Determine the scenario in the light of the argument for and against. So you look at here, we talked about evaluation earlier, right? Your pros, your cons, you look at evidences, you point to the case. Let's say from paragraph 3, this is what happened. You think you are against this. You can dab a whole paragraph and use it as your heading. So to pass, and you can do anything possible. Okay, so that was it. I hope this went a long way to help. All right.
Yes, sir.
So those are the verbs. So are you rethinking how to answer questions now? So please, let's look at the corporate reporting syllabus quickly. We walk through, and then I'll talk about a few things, then we come to case study, then we close. So please, who read for us? Corporate reporting.
Okay, let me read. The syllabus, that's 93. The syllabus for 3.1 corporate reporting assumes knowledge acquired at 2.1 financial reporting. 94. On completion of this model, candidates will reach a competency sufficient to be able to A. Apply international financial reporting standards. B. Prepare financial statement notes and extracts from group that comply with IFRS. C. Evaluate entity position, performance, and prospects using a range of, can you scroll? A range of financials and other data. D. Advice on specialized transaction. E. Advice on environmental, social, and governance issues, sustainability reporting, and sustainability standards, other contemporary issues in accounting and ethics.
So when you look at it, they say what? The syllabus for 3.1 corporate reporting assumes knowledge acquired at 2.1 financial reporting. So it means that when your FR is poor, you are going to struggle with corporate reporting, but there's a way around it. During the time that you are preparing for corporate reporting, right? Let me tell you something that people feel too proud. Like people feel, okay, me, yes, CR, right? There's no need to go and look at the financial reporting. I'm telling you, Chairman, look at your words well. I will show this trick. I'm not even supposed to show it here. Maybe I'll show it in class. Do you know that most of the notes that they bring in your business valuation, they dab it from financial reporting? Don't tell anyone. No. They dab it from financial reporting and come and dump it under business valuation. Humble yourself. Start looking at FR questions. They will build your mind on your corporate reporting standards. You will be amazed. Learning shouldn't be difficult. That's why one paper leads to another. But we feel like, okay, this is just corporate reporting. If you are doing case study, go and look at financial management. Go and look at management accounting. There are some things that can help you. They've given you everything, yet we still limit ourselves. That's why we find it difficult to understand concepts. You get? So if your financial reporting is poor, trust me, corporate reporting will become a problem for you. It's an add-up. That's why they say assumed knowledge. I assume you know PPE, so I'm not even supposed to teach you. But I still come down and teach you as if you don't know. But still, people will not learn. It's painful, eh? But anyway, let's continue. On completion of this model, we've looked at the things you are supposed to know. Be able to apply the financial reporting standard, prepare financial statement, notes, and extract for groups that comply with IFRS, evaluate the entity position, performance, and prospects. Look at this one. Using a range of financial and what? Financial and what? Other data. It means the ratios now. Financial information. They can break customer in a bit, the number of customers you have. They can bring number of plates served. They can bring number of employees who left. They can bring discontinued operations. As a student, you should be able to make meaning from whatever data they give you. And that is where their problem is. They think everything is about learning the ratios. No. They can bring you comparative statement where you need no ratios. You just need to use trend or you looking at the figures and how they are changing and telling us why you think what has happened. Why did it happen? When did it happen? How did it happen? So what? I just taught you how to interpret ratios. You must pay consultancy fee. You understand? That is it. Okay, then you must be able to advise on specialized transactions, advice on what? Now, ESG is very important. And when you look at it carefully, these areas have marks 15. Oh, where you're 15. See, let me just show you something. Assuming your standards are poor, yet you are here, but no matter what, look at this. Answer me. Oh. Can you do impairment without understanding depreciation? Can you do impairment without carrying amount? Oh, answer me.
No.
Can you do intangible assets without carrying amount?
No.
Can you do leases without carrying amount?
No.
No, sir.
Can you do borrowing costs without carrying amount?
No.
Can you do government grants without carrying amount?
No, because neither has it.
Can you do asset held for sale without carrying amount?
No.
No, please.
So it tells you that some standards, even if your standards are not good, if you understand the carrying amount part of it and add something small, at least all the asset standards, all liabilities work around provisions. Always it ends up on the balance sheet. It's either there's a current liability and a non-current liability side. It's a rule. Anything in the future, discount it to present value. The present value is the opening balance. Then you grow it with interest. We call it unwounding. It works with everything, whether it's from revenue, IFRS 15, whether it's from provisions, IAS 37, whether it's from pensions, IAS 19. There are some concepts, they work everywhere. If something is bought to trade in the short term, then its gains or losses go to the P&L. Typical example, investment property, gain or loss goes through what? P&L. That's why we call it fair value through profit or loss model, right? Fair value model. When you come to shares, when you have a shares that you buy and you are trading it in the short term, we call it fair value through profit or loss. Why? Because when you buy shares, it's like investment property. What do I mean? You are either looking for dividend, which is rent, or you are looking for capital growth. Meboa. Investment property refers to land, building, part of a building or both. That is what? Used for what? Rent, income, capital appreciation or both. Don't you see the same thing for the shares? So because of that, any gain or losses go to P&L. See, it is concept. It's not about learning everything. It's about learning the features that you need for a question. They don't teach people this in class. Until standard be a person TBBR say no. The time is short for that, my brother. See, all the standards have relationships. So once you understand, it doesn't matter whether it's decommissioning or dismantling costs or it's revenue in the future or it's pensions. You must discount them to present value, recognize it and grow it small. That is it. Anyway, my approach to teaching is completely different. I put myself in the shoes of the student to say, okay, if it was me, how would I get it? How would I be able to use it? That's my style, right? So I simplify things for you and make it suit you. Obiane a learning style, but it should be able to fit, right? It's like a cloth which can fit everyone. All right. I hope you are learning. So the thing is, knowing what to do at what point. Okay, this thing that they've brought, how similar is it? So you don't learn all standards, but you learn the key standards, right? If you say you're going to learn all the standards, trust me, you are lying to yourself. And even there's nobody who can see in exam itself. If I tell you the gospel truth, that if all lecturers in ICA, they tell us to come and sit and the papers we teach, they will let us sit 3 hours and do your swimming paper. I tell you, majority of people will falter. 3 hours, most people 3 hours and swarm. I'm telling you. Do you all agree?
Yes, we agree with you, sir.
Yes. So it tells you that if your tutors themselves cannot solve every question, then you, the student, why do you want to solve every question? Why do you want to master everything? I know some people will not agree with me, but it's not possible within 3 months. Though everything is possible, you can use smarts, right? Learn the necessary things that will guarantee your success. I say this thing every night we start. I say the same thing. They don't listen. I've said it. I'm even tired. But if everything will be possible, it is you. If you are attending 2 or more tuition centers, stop. It won't help you. Choose one. If you've gone to tuition before, throw tuition centers away. This time, sit down. What is the problem? My friends are getting it. I'm not getting it. What really is the problem? Understand yourself. Know thyself. Know thy enemy. If you know these 2 things, that is the art of war. This is also war. The same principles apply. And all is fair in love and war, right? Any strategy that you must take to succeed, even if you buy a pot, do it because you want to succeed, right? You understand what I'm saying? Opa, see we are. When I tell people I teach you exam focused techniques, they're like, then you don't teach me. I want to understand the concept. Master, understanding the concept all the time and you keep failing, no, there. If you fail over and over again and they ask the organization that picks you later, teach your transcript and they see you fail several times, they will not be happy with you. But if you can use a strategy, exam focus technique, pass, learn later, and get your name, you see, people are only interested in the certificate. Me, I'll be honest with you. So many qualifications, I don't even use them because me, the knowledge I acquired is more important for me because I choose to be my own boss. But if you are working for somebody, they're only interested in the certificate. So I tell you, find any possible means to pass. Understanding when you're on your comfort and there's no pressure, assuming you've chatted now and you get a job which requires you to learn all the IFRS, do you think you will not remember? Or answer me. Do you think you will not remember? Because there's no pressure on you to pass. Because there's no pressure on you to pass. There's no exam. You're not going to sit 3 hours anywhere. Right? There's no pressure on you. So I'm telling you, see, it is better you understand the exam techniques, understand the key standards, the key points, the key topics that cover about 70 to 80% of the paper, that you know that the chance of it appearing all the time is very high. Master them. Make sure that there's no way they'll bring this topic or any part of this topic that you can't answer. That is the only way. And yes, sir, me say, go and learn key topics, then you only go and learn a portion of it. No, you will fail. But if you know that these areas have the major marks, and because of that, I'll sit down and master it. Even if I must spend the first 2 months, master all the key topics to the extent that there's nothing they can bring that I can not solve. Then the last 1 month, you focus on the mekosososo, the sososo areas, the areas that are not very, though they come, but they have the 5 marks, 3 marks, 2 marks. Those areas you use 1 month to brush through them. So you know that 70 marks you are set, 80 marks you are set. The 20 left, you go and so. There's no way you will not get 50 because you've already covered 70. Just that you don't want to leave a question unanswered. Do you get a strategy? This thing, if you apply it, you will see success. Success is about principles. It doesn't matter. So far as you apply the principles, you will see results. The word satisfaction has the word action at the end. If you want a reaction, it still has action at the end. So what are we waiting for? It's not about, see, I can do syllabus work through 10 times. People will join 10 times. But trust me, if you don't take the action, you will be where you are. You can attend 50,000 classes. If you don't take that action, you will still be where you are. Your friends will bypass you. The same principle applies to life. Take action. Say that this night, no matter what happens, I'm not failing. Never. So what must I do? Put that question mark, sit in your room. That day you didn't go to work, you on leave. That one leave day that you are at home, sit down. You come back during the weekend, lock yourself. No disturbance. Think, what must I do to pass? That day, ponder on this. That's what we call meditation. God will give you some good knowledge, eh? You'll be shocked. And pray. There's nothing prayer cannot solve. You understand? The learning, no, it is linked to so many things. So it's not about being the I know corporate reporter, I know case study. No, there's another aspect to it. CA shapes you, eh? Trust me. People finish CA and say, oh, by the time you see, because you've been learning, you see, hey, course be a met me and I feel so idle. It's like something is lost from you. Yes. When learning becomes a part of you can't do without it. Maybe I now should share the next course to do. It's a stepping stone, a big one. So listen carefully. I've said so many things, right? But this is the strategy. Okay, I'm just helping you. These things I don't usually tell people. I do it in my private room, my private class. But I believe that the pass rate is too low for me. I mean, people should be able to, like prove them wrong. You understand? Prove them wrong. Let them know that yes, BB will baby. Like you guys are trying. It's like they bring the same old questions. I watch the past questions and I'm like, it's I didn't know say. Then people say, because you're a shark, I'm not a shark. I used principles, I used systems. Learning was difficult for me. I used systems and it worked. Then I simplified things for myself. Understand? All right. I hope I didn't offend anyone.
No,
Not
sir.
at all, sir.
All right. So let's look at the syllabus coverage. These things that you see as percentages are also marks. What did I say? Yeah, also what?
Marks.
So it tells you that this is why people focus so much on the standards, right? But unim bibi, ye standards ni fi ho. Because unim, when your lecturer cry, it meet to standard B, and you are shaking a little before it will occur to you, not time cock a crack. Do you get it? And how much more somebody who is before you even know the standard, not 1 hour quarter that. So why would you waste your time on standard when there are so many juicy elements here for you? Where your theory, where's your theory with some small calculation? Where the master and one no, the BA is the same format. They can't change it in any way that will worry you. So 15, 15, 15, I saying 15, 15, 15, I saying
45.
is it not bigger than the standards? This area, yes, there are some standards that will pop up, right? But the standards here are the basic ones. It means that complex standards will not come here. It means that here it will be something that you can deal with, right? Around provisions, maybe PP, borrowing costs, the ones that you know. Standard, I didn't say ignore it too. Learn the key ones. And those key ones are what they even bring under other questions. The more detailed standards, no, na endorse bebre, no. Mostly the standards that are low priority. And no pan endorse was standards in medium to low priority standards, no. Those are the ones that are very plenty. But the key standard, something like financial instrument, you know that the financial instrument will come. Then revenue, then impairment, then intangible. You see, there are some things that they are conk. You learn those ones. But something like hyperinflationary economy, marks are here, up to 5 marks per. Then somebody will worry himself trying to understand CCA, CPP accounting when you haven't even mastered console. I don't see the need. And I'm a strategist, doesn't it make sense?
It does, sir.
It does.
Me, I like to go straight forward. The other boy, my master, such that there's nothing. I gather all the past questions on list. I solve all of them. Look at the solution. Make notes. The one I don't understand, I look for somebody. Even if I have to get the number of a tuition center's head, get the number of whoever it is. Say, Skakra, I'll pay and understand that side. Then I know that I've covered everything about leasing. So there's no question whether they twist it or not. One, I seek expert opinion. I solved all the past questions. I looked at the textbook. I Googled. I asked an expert person. I even have friends I study with who are my accountability partners. And trust me, if you will not make it, the person, I'm telling you, me, I've done it over and over again. It has become a second nature. I don't write exam and fail. And you're possible. It doesn't matter how difficult it is. Some courses that I do, because I'm so busy. I've done one of the difficult courses. The pass mark is 70 marks. Do you know what I did? I didn't learn anything. No. What I do is when I come home very tired, I come, I sleep. When I wake up, I pour shower. Come and sit down, set 30 minutes. The 30 minutes, I look at the past questions and their answers. From there, I jump to the textbook, understand the concept. I reverse engineer. And it was shocking. The raw score that you have to get is 580. I had 584 without really putting in so much. If I had really studied. See, I was close. Assuming I didn't do what I did, that 580, if I don't get, I have to write all the papers again. Even if I got 70, 70, 70, and we add all, and you don't cross that 579, you have to write all again. There are some papers, the pass mark is 70, and you have to meet a raw score. I see anyway 50 marks, and people are struggling. Sometimes I wonder. There are courses out there. Charlie, no be joke. So I see that the effort people are putting in is not enough. I'm telling you the gospel truth. Discipline yourself. If you are doing 1 hour, ask yourself this 1 hour, what can I learn? How can I apply? Is the application that should be important to you at this level? And that old way of doing timetable, stop it. Monday me or effort, Tuesday me or corporate. No. Every day, whatever you have, allot time for each of the courses every day. Because the more your eye keeps seeing that thing you are doing every single day, you will build the competence. I'm telling you. That Monday I have effort, Tuesday I have corporate report. No, that was when you were in the lower levels. Now you are the senior financial executive level. Every day, learn, even if it's 5 minutes for each course you are doing. Allot 5 minutes each. And make sure you do it and see how your brain will shift into a mode which it uses to learn. We call it the adaptive response mode. Everything is psychology. Before your brain can transfer something from the lowest point, which is the short-term memory, to the highest point, which is the long-term memory, your hippocampi must register something unless your brain forces you to go into adaptive response mode. That is why if you are hungry for some time and you don't have money, you start thinking sharp, you become sharp, your alertness is high. That means your brain has shifted to what? Adaptive response mode. It means that, hey, idea we say manya, deal, and your brain needs carbohydrate to survive. So it will shift you to that mode, and then your strength are hyper. You'll see that your pupils will start dilating. That's how animals are. You see, if they are hungry or they give birth, they are very sharp. Yes, it's like that. Humans also have that, but you can trigger it. Who don't know all these things? They only jump straight into classes. They don't know how to learn. We spend all our time going to school. We never learn how to learn. So learning becomes a difficult thing for us. You see, anyway, that's just by the way. So I'm not going to go down into what we are supposed to know, but this is the whole thing that you need, right? In your syllabus, standards alone are 30, which is the highest area. It means that at least learn the key standards. Preparation of financial statements for a group, console is 25. Somebody will tell you that areas where not important. Just learn console and the standards and you are fine. 55 fail. No, I don't go that way. I see that there's some 45 here, which does not need so much effort, right? Console and this one, it requires so much effort, but at least console, copy a parent plus subsidiary without adjustment, Kraubenya max be wo. See, I then a console mum fanka way home. Now standards ne yan so. Oh, it doesn't make sense. What I'm saying, doesn't it make sense? Because there's no way you can master.
It does.
You can't master all. And mastering all the standard can take you like 5 months. And you have just less than 3 months, Abby. So how can you master all the standards? And you see, if they are teaching you standards in class, you see the way they rush. As if you know already. They just saw one example, we move. No. Measurement to saying, and when here, disclosure and way, presentation to saying, recognition to saying, at your level, nobody is going to ask you to define PPE. You get me? But you must understand. see, at your level, there are some part of standards that we have ignored and now is playing on us. For instance, scope of the standard. They'll tell you don't learn it. I'm telling you the facts. The scope tells you what it covers. Land help for undetermined use. They may bring it in a question. Now, when we say land held for undetermined use, it's not part of this standard, but they are asking you for this standard. Scope of the standard at your level, you're a senior financial executive. The scope and objective, no. And none of the answer question, no recognition, measurement, presentation, disclosure. But people ignore the scope rather than go and learn definitions. When at this level, we don't need definitions. You need a definition to understand what it means, what goes into it. But the scope, what it covers, they can bring something that is not covered there and test your mind if you understand the scope of the standard. People don't know this. I'm telling you. At the end, you're going directly into the class or the course itself. Knowing the prerequisites. What do I need? What do I need to do? What does this cover? How is it important? And here. Let me just give you a sure way of passing corporate reporting. Then we use some few minutes to talk about case study, right? When you look at the corporate reporting textbook or all the ICA textbooks, the sure banker way of passing is already in the book. Just that we don't know. If you don't know, you don't know. But anyway, let's go there. Now I'm taking questions, major questions. The moment questions, they inquire before I proceed. Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes, boss.
Yeah, please, with the issue of the timetable that you said, personal timetable that you said is irrelevant. So how do you plan and monitor your...
I didn't say irrelevant. I said the way you used to do your timetable, don't do it again. If you have 3 courses you are doing, make sure that every day you learn all 3.
Oh, okay.
So in Kolankola timetable, Monday may were corporate reporting, Tuesday may were advanced audit, Wednesday may were top it. Monday I have corporate reporting, MA, and this one. Do all 3. Tuesday you still have the same 3. Maybe give some break in between. Let me ask you. Let's use this one. Some people have days that they go to the gym and work only on their biceps. Some days they work only on their stomach. Some days they work only on their leg, right? Leg day. That's what we call it. Okay.
Yeah.
Some other people do an overall body workout. Every single day they go to the gym. Who do you think will see results quickly?
Those with the overall workouts.
Yes, because this guy overburdens himself with one thing and your brain starts getting bored. So you switch. It's psychology.
Okay.
Learning FR for 4 hours straight. Don't you get bored? Yes. Till she a corporate reporting kakra. Watch a movie be a film. 1 hour be. Watch a series be. Watch kakra. You come back, take advanced audit. Wako TikTok. We scrolly 1, 2 be. You just discipline yourself. Come back. You come and eat your food while you are watching some examples in the textbook. Come back. Go and stroll a little. Come back. By the time you see it, the thing is just entering your mind. Yourself, you'll not remember that you even took some break. That is how we learn. But that Ghanaian lifestyle, better last minute. No, I bet not say. So that be ni trim. No. That style you must stop. If you use that in the university, this is not university. This one has a pass mark. It has a deadline, right? So get the difference. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
What I'm saying makes sense to everyone here, and no one is offended.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you. It is.
Okay, you're welcome. So we are here. Let me show you something. See, even capital reduction, people don't know the capital reduction. There are about 4 types of questions. So you see here, it says what? Designing a capital reduction scheme. You can see. Then we have implementing a scheme that has been given to you already. Then we have what? Evaluation of a scheme. Let's say all those ones fall into the implementation. Then there's external reconstruction. This one hardly does it come. And when it comes, this one, internal reconstruction is the ones we have seen here. It means that this one, the old company will be restructured, right? We might sell some shares, bring more money in to restructure. But the external one, we will sell all the things in the old company. We'll close it down and create a new company, or sell everything we have to a new company. Do you understand? And this one, I tell you, when it comes to a lot of people will fail because they are used to this one. Because I see a son of they'll be bringing this and this, this and this. Even designing a scheme, people have a problem on designing a scheme. When it comes, everybody's running away. It's only few people who know. Do you get it? Because everybody knows how to implement a scheme. When they give you the capital reduction scheme and you open 3 accounts, share capital or stated capital account, capital reduction account, and cash or bank, right? But they can just twist it and bring up a contingent liability crystallized. Then people get confused. You see, these are some of the things that you see. Anyway, look at something. I want to show you something. You see the standard and the depth. Can you see? Can you see
Yes,
something?
sir.
You see
Yes,
all the
sir. Yes,
standards
sir.
three. Some of them are 1. Those standards that have 1 and 2. Some are medium priority and some are what? So medium priority is 2. Low priority is 1. Okay. High priority is 3. All the standards, you have to have a very high knowledge. But because the time is short and most of the people doing corporate reporting, right? Their FR is not so solid. You can use a strategy and still make it. Okay. So I'm showing you something. You see this thing that we call tutor tips. The reason why I recommend you all buy the ICA book. ICA put, they must give me commission. I've been advertising their book more than mine. Tutor tips. This tutor tips gives you a specific way or approach you must use to succeed in the paper based on their book. If you want, look at this. Do you get it? It tells you. And truly, if you read this, you get a strategy that they will use to examine you. Osha, CEO, tutor tips. The syllabus states that all international financial reporting standards covered in financial reporting are also applicable. The difference between questions on standard examined at this level compared to the previous paper is that you will be faced with more complex scenarios to which standards apply and be expected to show a deeper understanding of the rules contained in the standards. You see, they've now distinguished between the standards you did at CR level and corporate FR level. Have you seen it? Now you continue. It's a regulatory framework. What do we need? The content of this chapter is unlikely to form the basis of any one single question. So it means the regulatory framework, emba as just one single question, but it may be referred to in a particular question. It's just a conceptual framework, emba on its own, sir. It can be part of some question. Now we're noting it down. This means that idea way may have me because it doesn't come on its own, but I need to know it. Makes sense. Ethics is perhaps the most important area covered in the chapter. They've already told you the most important. What did they want us to do? Learn the 5 fundamental principles and also the various threats to compliance with these principles. And then also, you could be expected to identify an ethical scenario, face an ethical issue facing the scenario, and provide advice on how to resolve it. So the 2 things that are in my mind is that how do I identify an ethical scenario? I can type it in Google. How do I provide issues on how to resolve it or look in the book? They have given you how to ask you questions here. We don't do this research. You see, this thing I'll say it today. Somebody will go and sleep on it. Me, I know. Meboa.
Yes, sir.
Meboana.
Omwa.
Okay. Accounting and reporting concept, TABBO. I'll say time. Most of the content on this chapter will be familiar to you from your earlier studies. Remember, the conceptual framework does not provide rules but represent the foundation. Learn the 2 fundamental qualitative characteristics, relevant and faithful representation, because they cut across, and the 4 enhancing qualitative characteristics. Make sure that you can understand why they are so important. Basically, if financial information does not have these characteristics, the financial statement cannot fulfill the objectives. You may be expected to indicate how these are applied in a given accounting treatment. As you study the standards, try to think of why a particular rule exists and why the information that results from the rule will be useful. Learn the 5 elements. Note that assets and liabilities are defined in terms of the underlying features, and the other definitions are based on assets and liabilities. Make sure that you understand the recognition criteria. You may be expected to comment on how the definitions and recognition are applied to in a given standard. Try to think about this when you study each standard. Many standards give recognition guidance. Read this in context of the guidance in the framework and see how they link together. You see, they're even giving you how to approach this. Okay, now specific standards. IAS 1 presentation, IAS 34, IFRS 8, IAS 24, and IAS 10. Look at what it says. IAS 1 is deemed knowledge at this level. You get little credit for being able to present the main financial statement in a format. So, format no. Format ni here almost because there's the things that go into the format that is important. Make sure that you know which gains and losses must be presented in the statement of comprehensive income and which of those can and cannot be reclassified to the statement of profit or loss in the future. You can see it here. Make sure you understand the requirements about key measurement assumptions and disclosure of accounting policies. See, IAS 34 is unlikely to form the basis of a question in its own right, but it could easily be added on to another question. You see these things that you are seeing, by the time you finish reading all, then you have learned almost all the tricks in corporate reporting before you even start the book. But hardly do people go into these things. But I've already given you this. Sit down with the tutor tips. Make notes. Know what they want from specific standards, the key ones, and start looking at them, and you will be fine. All right. So that brings us to the end of our session on corporate reporting. If you have any questions, you can ask before we move to strategic case study. Strategic case study is going to be quite brief. Yes, I want questions. I want questions. And you know, most of the techniques I mentioned apply to all your papers, right? Not just corporate reporting. That's what took our time. So case study, I'm going to use about 30 minutes to just talk about what you need or how you should study, just like I gave you for the others, and then you should be fine. Please, it's question time for CR. Or overloading, I've overloaded you. Eh? No overloading one.
We are still pondering. We are pondering.
You are still pondering, eh? Don't worry. After the pondering, I hope you take action. That's all I want. That's all I want. Me, dear, this time, dear, I'm not going to pamper anyone. I will stress you to pass. If you join class, correct, you have stress on the wall. Too many assignments. And any little mistake, I'll take you out of the class. Meaning, if you are not joining group discussions, if you are not submitting assignments, because I am forcing you to pass this time. Before, I used to be lenient. Oh, do this on your own. No, I must see you are doing it. That's the benefit now I'm offering. And see, if you like that, so now I pass it because you can't force yourself. You can't discipline yourself enough. Then you are welcome to join class.
So please discipline me.
Because anytime you don't join group meeting or you don't submit assignment, you pay me 200 cedis. So it's a penalty for not doing it. And it's a requirement. Administrator will be on your neck to take the money. So you either do it or you pay 200 every time. By the time you have finished the course, that means menyaska. So it's win-win for everyone. Yay. You get relaxation. I get my money.
That's good.
Yeah. And our approach this time is everybody must have an accountability partner. The accountability partner, what he does is that, let's say, for instance, maybe Isaac and Adam are accountability partners. So at the start of every Monday or Sunday, your accountability partner is your friend. You should just be two. I mean, you can be a lot in a group, but let's say Isaac and Adam will meet, right, online. And then you are going to say, okay, Isaac, Adam will say, Isaac, my plan is that this week I'm learning IFRS 8 and IFRS 16. Okay, you don't go plenty. Isaac will also say, I'm doing IAS 23 and maybe IAS 38. So, okay. Now, this is our goal at the start of the week, right? Sunday. Then you guys, both of you go through and see, okay, so these are the things involved in this standard and what. Isaac, you know something? I will make sure that this thing you learn. Otherwise, if you don't learn it, you will pay me penalty. This guy too will take it upon himself that he will force you to learn this. Because it's an online class, you check on each other. You call Isaac. Were you able to learn the IS30? Charlie, I know do. Well, you they owe me 200 though. You remember, it's an agreement. If your accountability partner fails to adhere, report it to me or report it to administrator. I'll take it from there. That means you are not complying and you pay that penalty. You may also be rusticated from class. And this is how we are going to do it throughout. Everything you say, also would this so. And this person will make sure say would this so. Unless you have a very reasonable excuse, which I will accept. If not, I forget. If this goes on 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and the first mock comes and you underperform below 50, you are going home with no refund. I'm telling you. Because you came to me that bill, I want to pass. If you don't listen to me, you are going home. I'm there to make you pass once and for all. That's my goal. And that's why I'm here, right? To prove to you this thing is not difficult. So if you lend me your ear, you lend me your attention, you are good to go, right? Learning shouldn't be difficult. I use this for my MBA class people. And they are old, though. They are the oldest class. But all of them ended up with first class and some second class upper, even for the weak ones. And it proved to me that, okay, these things can be done. I applied this to my SEMA class then. All of them made it. No one in the class failed. So it tells you these things do work. If only you discipline yourself to do it. That's all. And make sure you don't default so that you pay penalty. And that same penalty money, you can still use a different mindset to be investing them. You and your accountability partner. It will be a side susu for you anytime. Then you put it into something like shares or something so that you get returns. It's a win-win for everybody. No matter the case, you must still win. Anyway, that's just by the way. But I hope it's a good strategy. So you're welcome. All right, so shall we proceed? Strategic case study. Please note, case study is a combination of, should I say 3 courses? Business Management and Information System from level 1, Management Accounting from level 2, and FM from level 3. These are the 3 courses that make up strategic case study, and plus a little bit of logical reasoning. Okay. Now, I know somebody who did very well in case study because I told him he should look at these 3 questions, these 3 courses. So he just to get a better understanding, right? He has been downloading the past questions on these ones, and I gave him specific topics to be looking at in MA. So not everyone, but this BMIS and then FM, he's looking at it. Do you know the funny thing? Last night, he solved one FM particular past question and he sent it to me to look at it. And I said, hey, into when you now use your chairman, I'll catch him in the. And you know the funny thing? When he went to the case study, the same question, which is a past question from FM, dropped 2 of them, the financial side and then another theory, but it came in FM. And he says, hey, chairman, you see, I tell you, as I told you before, hey, magical. Had anybody mentioned 61? Case study, I said, that's how God works. You put in the action and you are seeing results. Rejoice. You see? So, I mean, everything is the work. You put in the work, you see results. I've never seen anybody put in work on results that. If you are not seeing results, it means you are not putting in the work enough. Why is it that plenty of people join the same class you joined? They all make it and you didn't make it. It tells you there's something wrong. Solve it. The problem is you, not the tuition center. The problem is you, not your friends. Solve that problem. You get it? Me, I like the hard truth too, because it is only the truth that can set you free. And I'm a boy.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you are welcome to strategic case study. If you have any question, you can ask me before we proceed, right? But in this aim of the case study itself will tell you why you are not passing case study if you've passed, if you failed before. If this is your first time to, this is going to tell you what is in case study that you have to know. There's one aspect of case study that students don't really take so important, but that is a thing that if you know, you like wakuma beto yem with your marks that you get. Do you understand me? So let's see. The aim of this module is to enable students to understand and apply tools. See, the aim of the paper itself is to enable students to what? Understand and what? Apply what? Tools and what? Tools and what?
Models.
Models. To develop skills in strategic analysis, choice, and implementation. It means your whole exam is about strategic analysis, choice, and implementation. And you will become competent in the use of management information to measure and monitor strategic performance. So look at something. Apply tools and models. So let's say that means you must learn models and learn how they are applied in analysis, choice, implementation, and also understand how to measure and monitor performance. So measuring and monitoring performance is very important. But people don't know that when it comes to performance management, case study takes it very important. Do you understand? This alone, this preamble to the course itself. So I gave you a small moment of silence to digest what I said. And I hope it has digested.
Yes, please, sir.
Yes. So a comprehensive review will be undertaken of good governance practice. If you know you are doing case study today, I'm telling you from today, start today, corporate governance. Don't wait until the lecturer tells you. Go. The corporate governance is the smallest chapter I have seen. Take your time every week. Say, I want to at least understand corporate governance. Every week, can corporate governance. If the first 2 days, this is the area you are looking at, you tell yourself, okay, the first Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm reading. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'm going into the past questions to see the questions that were asked on corporate governance. Do this consistently. I assure you that corporate governance, you get 2020. There's no hard science anywhere. It is small actions that build up over time. We have various sayings, right? Little drops of water makes a mighty ocean. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, but they forgot one word: taking. Right? Behind a successful man, there is a woman. Behind every unsuccessful man, there is 2, 3, and many more women.
Hey. So, sure.
That's just by the way. Don't mind me, All right. So we are saying that are they like no be true?
It depends.
Sometimes one woman do.
But Charlie, oh, it's just by the way. Make you don't mind me. It's just I mean, so that you don't get bored. But look at something here. This case study paper, I want you people to sit down. This one, you don't need any lecture. You don't need anybody. You yourself, sit down. Get a pen. I always recommend a foolscap notebook because I've seen its wonders. Sit down. Get your notebook. Sit down. Ask yourself. Case study bar November 2019. For those who've written it before. Maybe I wasn't writing then. I was in level 2. But when I looked at the question and the performance in the paper, this is what they said. Okay. The time I started writing, somewhere 2021, or 2022. Up till now, I haven't gotten it. I have been to classes where people have passed and I'm still there. What really is the problem? And why am I still failing? Once you do that, write anything that pops up in your mind. Maybe is my handwriting okay? You can ask people, do you think my handwriting is fine? You can ask me. I'll give you objective opinion. If your handwriting is bad, I'll tell you it's bad. Why? Is it my spacing? Is it the way I answer the questions? Is it how I apply? Sometimes most of you think that you are failing case study because of your application, but it's not true. It's not true. A lot of you guys are able to apply, but because you haven't seen your working script, like your exam script, you think say to me applying to a failure when you're. Do you get me? Most of you are good at appliers, but you don't know. Unless you've seen your script and you see that so it's not application. Maybe it's the wrong application of a model. Model that you beside and quote different one without knowing because you're under pressure. Do you know it can happen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And this is what is killing a lot of students in case study. Misapplication of models. I tell you, under pressure, you can do everything. So let's see something. Let's see somebody's journey to success. A king once called the whole town or the whole kingdom that he wants to marry off his daughter. And anybody who can come and complete a great challenge, right, will marry his daughter and get half of his kingdom and his properties. So the challenge was that you will swim across a river full of crocodiles, right? So one man heard it and he rushed from the farm, giddy, 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 to come and see who that lucky man is, who will get to what? Marry the king's daughter. So he was there, he was just, when they are crowd, you want to lift your head like you are going through, you want to see what is happening. He didn't even know. All of a sudden, this guy was in the water, swimming, giddy, 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 giddy. He reached the other side and got out. The king said, young man, congratulations. Everybody was clapping. And they asked him that, what do you want? Do you want this side of the kingdom? Or he said, Master, that will be my issue. And they find the person who pushed me inside the water. So, you see how success came for him?
Yes, sir.
So I want you to use this. Sometimes, your success, you don't know when it comes, right? It is one thing not to give up. Giving up means you've lost. Don't lose yourself. I mean, it's a professional journey. Okay, I have seen people who failed so many times, and because of that, they have become professors. I mean, failure should catapult you into greatness. It's the school system that has. Do you know why when people fail, they fail to get back up? It's the school system that has made us like that. We don't think outside the box. We were all trained the same way. When we went to school, were we not called a class? Didn't we all learn the same thing, the same syllabus? True or false? We all went to break the same time. They didn't give anybody the room to think differently. So we all understood one way of doing things. We all go to break at 1 p.m. We all go to first break at 10 a.m. Do you understand? We were all conforming to one thing, such that if you do anything different in class, they mark you wrong and cane you for thinking outside the box. It's like you group an elephant, a monkey, a fish in one place, and you are telling the fish to climb a tree, telling the elephant to climb tree, telling monkey to swim, and fish to climb tree. That is what has made that. That is why we find things difficult, because we have been programmed since we were children. And even when we were children, that programming was even okay. When we were young, you see people used to do sometimes you could do 11 subjects, right? And you come up on top. True or false? Your children, you see them
true.
11, 12 subjects, they come up on top.
Yeah.
And 90%, 100, they top the whole school. But as you grew, the subjects keep decreasing. They kept decreasing, and you kept telling yourself, hey, as for me, I cannot do e-maths, so they said it's difficult. As for me, I cannot do this, so you started creating laws for yourself, and they started working for you. The human mind knows impossibility until you give it Are you getting it? Until you give it a limit,
Yes, sir.
it doesn't know. When you were a child, you didn't know that this thing is electric. It will kick you. It will shock you. You just went and you went to touch it. And now, pew back up, and then you came to your senses and say, hey, I deal with Eddie and Saka. It is like that. So it's like your brain cannot distinguish between, not your brain, your mind. Your mind and your brain are two separate entities. Your mind cannot distinguish between what is real and what is not. If you keep telling yourself something over and over and over again, and you start working towards it, you will see results. When I understood this thing, it changed my whole perception about life. If you want something, keep repeating it to yourself over and over and start working on it and see if you won't see it. Ask, it shall be given, and no, seek, you shall find. Knock, the door will be opened. That has been the equation all along. And it works in exam, works in life. If you want a promotion, keep saying it to yourself and start working the hardest you can and see if you will not get a promotion. Everything is based on principles. If you start applying those principles, you will see results. It's guaranteed. Success is guaranteed. Right? All right. So, case study. Okay, this was the whole thing I was telling you. The models is the whole thing about case study, right? Let's come here. I want to show you something. Look at the weighting of the syllabus. Strategic analysis is 20%. That's 20 marks. Strategic choice is 15. Strategy in action, 25%. Financial objectives and strategies, 20%. And corporate governance is 20 marks or 20%. Now, if you look at it, which area has the highest marks?
So strategic in action.
Strategy in action, right? Yes. Now, it tells you that the areas are well spread, but strategy in action has the highest marks. And actually, in the exam, over my years of teaching, everybody knows that this is the area that is mostly theoretical. Between those that are application and the ones that are more theory, which one is easy to learn? Between the ones which are more applicable and the ones which are more theoretical, which one will be easier to learn?
The theory.
So between all these models, the ones that are mostly theoretical, is strategy in action and corporate governance. Corporate governance, so theory does so into BP. Then I want discipline and strategy in action 25. No, every model there you master it and add corporate governance to it. Then the rest you play around with them, you will succeed because you have 45 guaranteed marks, and then the rest you play around with them. Who said God no day? God day. But you need to take a step, then he will do the impossible for you. Do you understand? So when you actually come into the syllabus, you see the thing we just saw, right? 25 here, add corporate governance 20. Do you know why I didn't mention any other area? Because these areas, the applications are more that if you are not so good with application, you lose. Okay? But then this 45 on your fingertips, if you start diving into it, right? These areas, I mean, if I say I want to go into all these things, we will go into it and still people will be doing the same thing that they are doing. I don't see the need. Make sure you have the syllabus. Me, I'm not going to walk through like I do every time. This time I'm giving you strategies and I hope it's helping. Get this syllabus, Are you following? Print the side. Print the side that relates. Print the side that relates to the course you are doing. Print only that side. Attach it to your foolscap notebook. Every week. It's like a checklist. Listen, I said it's like what? A checklist. So every week you come. Okay.
Checklist.
This week. Metumia Kavawi. Metumia Kavawi. Metumia Kavawi. Right? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
I've done this week. Now, you go to the past questions. Okay, how many times has this been examined by case study? You walk through the papers. You walking through and trying to even identify this is a skill, or you don't know. Because to identify this alone means you have mastered. You have become a master to even know that this is what they are examining. And if you try this thing 4, 5, 6 times, your brain will pick it. It will become automatic. I may use myself as an experience. You see, before, when I started learning, right? When I take a question and I don't know what the question is about, I used to get scared. Then something occurred to me. Somebody has been able to do it. Why can't I? So when I take a question, I take the solution. I watch the solution, watch the question. I watch the solution, work the question. Then I try it on my own. Then I compare where they were different. Before I will be using a person's solution. Then I dive deeper into the book. I say, oh, okay, I can use it this way and it will be better. Then I start searching for alternatives online. In time, now when I get a question, I don't think. It's like it becomes a natural flow to me. And I'm saying, hey, how did I get so good? I still thought I wasn't good enough. I was still looking for other simple ways to simplify the answer. And then over time, that same question that when I saw before I was scared, I could even criticize the person's answer and say, I remember the first time I saw corporate governance, ethics, and then strategy. When I saw the case, me see, yeah, hey, this thing is plenty. And that was the first case I saw. Now, when I became good at it, I said, the answer they even presented is limited. Oh, they can bring this here. Even the answer they didn't do it well. Why didn't they tell us the pros and cons? I was criticizing and writing it. It is like that. You would think this guy is doing magic. He's good. He started from somewhere. Those times, my facilitator who taught us how to build apps and hack systems, right? Hey, he can just take somebody's website and start creating backdoors, loopholes, and start hacking the website. And like, hey, this guy is a genius. So you create virtual box, you enter into somebody's computer, he can hack somebody's credit card. Be like, hey, Charlie, this guy is sharp. Create databases, bypass databases, and put a backlog algorithm. You say, hey, these are complex things. But when I got there, I said, oh, this guy said you create basic. There's other things that you can do to make it simple. It is like that. Life. That is it. So you start the learning. Give God something to work with, right? And then once you do it, definitely you will pick up. You see, the human body has been taught to adapt. That is why there are people who live in extreme conditions and they don't die. But if you go, you will die. Because they have lived to the extent that they have adapted. Have you not seen that tribe with those women whose maps are pulled and they put that ring, that flat ring there? Not so? If it was you,
yes, sir.
How would you feel? I said, yeah, how? Yes, but they have adapted. So it is like that.
Yeah.
Start now so that your body adapts over time. But we prefer last minute when we pile everything on ourselves. It won't work. Start now so that you get to adapt. So your body, you pinch it small, small. It's like the way you lie somebody. No. It's like you want to feed a child, right? You don't just put the food, he will spit the medicine out. So you lie as if you are giving him food, small, small, small. You play around, you play around. If you are you close his eyes and put the medicine. He will not even shout that it's bitter. Like so. That's the way it is. Everything has been done over and over again. So you guys, I don't know. I shouldn't even be telling you this because you know how you yourself can succeed. I know all of you know what you must do to succeed. You are just not doing it. Anamebwa, tell me you don't know.
So you are right.
Everybody here knows what he must do to pass the paper, but you are not doing it. You know you have to practice. You have to solve questions. You know you have to, but you are just not doing it. I tell you, everybody knows what he must do to succeed. We are just not doing it. Why? That's a little I want to leave with you. Why? Why are you not doing it? So now, my strategy this diet, I've already told you. In class, it's all about accountability. This time, it's not about teaching. Teaching, I'll teach you. But me person me share from your side. Say, oh yeah, what family they are. Because I can teach people, me to meet and I'm saying this diet I have taught these people, the kind of information I've given them, none of them should fail. You go, you come, then the person you even trusted cried, and he didn't, hey, na bibi yama kuma. I'm like, then somebody who came from outside, or who didn't even do some of the course, was just passing through. He'll come and you go and get 90 something. So I said, no. This time my focus should be on the students, not me. I am not going to impress you. You, what are you doing? What you said, have you studied it? Have you solved the past questions? Please, by the time you leave this diet, every past question should be solved. If not, you are going out of my class. I'm forcing you. If you are the type who doesn't, hey, we are adults, so we don't like force, then you go where the adults are. But if you are in my class, you do what you must do to succeed. We must hold the enemy. Let me ask you a question. You know the story of David and Goliath, right? Okay. Do you think if David, when David went there, he had a choice? Do you think David had a choice when he was fighting Goliath? Oh, answer me. That he can leave the battle anytime? Do you think he had a choice?
No.
If he tried leaving, Goliath would have killed him. So he had no choice. That alone gave him the hope, say, God must work for me. I must kill this guy. So that's how I want you to think. I have no choice than to pass. So whatever I must do, I must make it now. Please, if you don't pass this diet, there's no chance you pass the following diet. So whatever you must do, me, I'll not give you a choice but to pass. If you are ready to fail, if any of you fail this paper, you owe me 2,000 Ghana cedis. We will sign a contract. So
I love that.
We will sign it too. If you are joining class, everybody will sign that contract with me. I'll send it across everyone. I promise to pay. I have lawyers. We will implement it. If you fail, you pay me 2,000 posture. I have to make it 5,000. Then you sign and send me before I make you join class. Because I'm not joking this time around. I'm not joking. And it is possible that some of our classes one day, I'll take time, and those that are in Accra will come and do a face-to-face, just to know you guys and see how well you are facing through.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, now that is what I'm going to do, because now I want to give individual attention, because I do all the techniques, teach you everything, yet you don't apply. It's like a prophet. A prophet does not get the recognition he needs in his own people. So I will now force my people to become who they are supposed to be, whether you like it or not. It's by force. So if you like by force passing, then you are welcome. July 2025, everybody is passing. We are passing as a family. By force. Okay, so that's the end of our session. I didn't teach you anything, I know, but forgive me. So have a good night.
Hello, sir.
Yes, boss.
Sir, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I just love your presentation, and I believe we will do as you instructed. Sir, with the strategic case study, for now, it seems some of us, we are not having the manual, but in your presentation, you made mention of the fact that we should be guided by the content. So I don't know if maybe if you can share it with us on the platform.
The soft copy is not available for this new one. You have to get it from the ICA office. You can place order, we can place order for you, and then it will be delivered to you wherever you are. But you need the book. It's an investment that is required. I know people who sat the paper, they never had a new book. And it is detrimental to your success. You need investment. Let me ask you a quick question before we close. We have 2 colleges, look, 2 classes, right? 2 ICA schools. This ICA school, look, the price of a paper is 150 cedis. This ICA school, the price of a paper is 2,000 cedis. Are you following? Now look here. Somebody will say, this one is too expensive. You go here, right? Less materials. They just teach you. You keep failing over and over again, but you go here, it's first attempt pass. Which one is better? Which one is more expensive? Which of the colleges?
150.
150.
Why is the 150 more expensive?
150. Your time and repetitive payment.
Also, that first one, more shirts be mouth.
You understand? Because you keep paying the 150 over and over and over and over again because it's cheap. You keep going there over and over again. By the time you see, you will spend more than 15,000 if you have gone 10 times. But this one, you join once, you make all the necessary investment, you are gone. And me, I believe a professional qualification. See, if you become good, tell me, ICA opens doors. I won't lie to you. The investment you spend in ICA, if you are good, you will get millions of returns from it and many more. One guy I taught, 2018, he's the one who took advanced audit and assurance, right? Joe. He's autistic. I hope when we say somebody is autistic, you understand. He has autism. It's very difficult for him to what do we call it? Assimilate things. But about figures or practice or you used to. And so he was able to pass majority of his papers, except advanced audit and assurance, public sector, those involving law or BREPA. So I told him to download all the audit pass questions and just make it a routine to be solving them. Question, solution, question, solution, question, solution. Have one book. Copy all the question. The copying is the learning. Copy all the answers. Then the question, you print it and attach. He was doing it. Advanced audit, I think he had 88 or the G award for me. The second item case study. This guy, what's his name? Oh, yeah, this away guy, Nidina, yeah, a simple name. So, I've forgotten. He's the one who took the award for me in case study. When people were getting 26, 26, 15, somebody got 5 in case study. Can you imagine? 5%. That guy was able to get 62. That time, the highest was 62. Can you imagine? A whole Ghana. 62 non-DG award. So it told me something that, if an autistic person can get award, how much more us who are in perfect condition? God has blessed us so much. We know how we can succeed. We are just not doing it. You get me? So that's the little I wanted to share. In case you haven't registered and you want to register for the class, you can reach out to our admin. We have 2 case study classes, right? We have the case study private room. Private room, the HLA is the Odogu. It's for the Odogu people. That one is 2K. Okay. Private room is a different level altogether. We have corporate reporting private room. Those are the only 2 that have private room. But then for the normal class, it goes for 600 cedis. Okay. And that one, no joke. There's distinguishing factor between the 2. But still, no joke. I'm not joking, as I told you. Accountability, stress, and pass mark. I will draft the 5K agreement today, and I'll share it across the pages. If you fail, you owe me 5K. So don't fail. Are we okay? So okay, in case the face-to-face will come on, where do you want it to be? You just tell me. We'll make arrangements as soon as possible so that the day we'll do the face-to-face. Because next night we'll be running face-to-face as well, right? But I want you guys to tell me, would you want it to be in Accra? I'll do it in Accra, okay? Possibly around
Accra, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Accra, circle.
Yeah. So at the midpoint of this way, which will be somewhere. I'll be you right in July. So somewhere mid-May to June, I'll do my first. We'll have like 2 or 3 face-to-face together with this one for those around. Even those who are online, that day I'll stream online and face-to-face at the same time. I know how to do it. I started running online and face-to-face at the same time before COVID. So those times we're using Team Link and PenPal. Okay, before Zoom came. So I ran both of them. So when those online speak, those face-to-face can hear, and some of them even made friends when they've not seen each other before. So when those online, I connect a speaker, use a projector. So those online can see those in the class, those on the class can see those online. So that's how it was. So it was one big family. But sometimes the network issue was a problem. But don't worry. My job is to make sure that failure is impossible. If you are in, then you are welcome. You can read the administrator on 0246752130. If you want to reach me myself, 0243443934. The name is Bill Kobe, all right? Or Prof. And I'm the trainer of trainers. I'm the lecturer to the lecturer you don't know. I am the mentor to the mentor you don't know. I've trained over 30,000 tutors, trainers, people in digital marketing all over Africa. All right. So that is a little bit about my backstory. All right. So you're welcome once again. And that brings us to the end of our session.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Do we have class this Saturday for strategic case study?
For Saturday.
Yes.
You said we have for Saturday. Yes, my classes sometimes, yes, we do.
Because on the timetable, it's Mondays and Saturdays.
Yes, it's Mondays and Saturdays. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes we do. Like we do Monday, Saturday, Monday, Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, but
No,
mostly
sir, please, that is not clear, sir. Your answer wasn't clear.
yeah, so it is
On the timetable, we have it to be on Mondays and on Saturdays.
Then I'm saying that the Mondays and Saturdays what is on the timetable, but Saturdays are for you. That is when you do your practice. Before I was teaching on both, but I realized that the teaching alone is not enough. So Saturday I will be on, but you will be doing more presentation and answering. Do you understand what I mean?
Oh, okay, please.
Into Saturday no obi our platform ne so, but me mentra de. No ye fa models are na momo explain me ka bibi kakra more problem and then I come in. So now we are doing model by model. Ye fa model we are near kuno. Ye chin near kuno. Ye chin near kuno. We kill them one by one, Bush Commando style. You understand? Those who haven't watched Bush Commando, it's an old movie. Eh? You can go and watch it.
All right, sir.
All right. So that brings us to the end of our session.